Are you looking for something fun and bright and easy to paint for Christmas? Look at this lush painting that I painted last night. Excuse me saying lush, I'm from Wales, so we say lush and that means beautiful or lovely. I didn't even look at a reference photo for this, so I'm really proud of myself, and it was really relaxing to do. I just picked up some colours and had fun, and I can't wait to show you how I painted this today. So I'm going to paint a brand new one, but it will look like this. I'm going to try and replicate it. Also, if you're not a subscriber on my channel, my name's Lindsey. I'm a self-taught watercolour artist and now gouache artist, and I make helpful content to help you learn more about watercolours. I make beginner-friendly videos and also a bit more intermediate videos as well. So if you're interested, subscribe to my channel. It's free and it just means that you'll get notified when I post new videos. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using mainly creamy paint, so it's got hardly any water mixed into it. It's just got enough water so that I can get it moving on the paper. And I started with a nice bright yellow. This is my primary yellow, and I'm using Winsor & Newton Designer's Gouache. And what I'm doing is just flicking my brush off to the side and curving these leaves around a little bit. The brush I'm using is a pointed round brush, and I'm just using quick movements with my brush. If you haven't already figured this out, I'm trying to make this look like a Christmas tree branch. So that's why I'm flicking it out and making it nice and bushy on the edges. These leaves are going to be lovely and bushy on the inside, and then they're going to taper out and get thinner on the outer edges. I'm taking some green now, and this is just my sap green. And I'm painting this onto the wet yellow paint, and that is because I wanted those two colours to mix together to give more of a yellowy green. I could have mixed up a yellowy green, but I just love the look of those two colours blending into one. And I like the fact that the ends, or the underneath of the ends of this branch is also, it looks quite illuminated, so it looks like there are lights or something behind it, and that was the look that I was going for. Now with some darker blue, and I think this was my Prussian blue. I can't remember what colour this was, but it was just a darker blue anyway. I'm adding that on top of the wet green paint. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to darken up the paint in areas. And all I'm doing is using fast flicky movements with my brush. I'm also adding some indigo into the middle of the branch, and that was to bring that middle area out, so the stem. And then I've got some indigo, and I'm just going to add a few little branches or little leaves, and that was to create some shadow. I don't know if you can notice, but the edge of my branch is quite dry, and I love that look where you get that dry texture on the paper. It makes that branch look really fuzzy and furry at the edges. Now for the bauble, I decided to use my ultramarine, which is a lovely warm blue. You can use whatever colour you want for the bauble. It took me a while to decide, but I decided on a blue bauble because blue is my favourite colour. So all I'm doing is taking a nice thick creamy mixture of this and then painting a circle. Then rinsing off my brush. I've got a nice clean brush, and all I'm going to do is rub that clean brush with some water on it around the outer edge. And what that's going to do is it's going to blend out the edge and make it a bit softer. Now I've got some magenta on my brush, and I'm going to drop that in as well. And I allowed the magenta and the blue to touch one another. I wanted those two colours to blend into one. And then I was just taking a clean brush then and blending out the middle and leaving a highlight. I've also got some turquoise on my brush, and I'm going to add some cobalt turquoise because that's my favourite colour. And I'm painting this in like a U shape, so I'm just following the curve of the ball and then blending that out with a clean brush. Then I decided to take some warm yellow. I can't remember what colour this was, it was just a warm yellow. And I decided to leave a tiny little highlight around the bauble just to add a bit of glow. And this is a nice thick creamy mixture. I'm going to also paint it a little bit around the edge of the branch as well. And then taking a clean damp brush, I'm going to blend out the edge. So there was quite a lot of water in my brush, and I wanted there to be so that it sort of blended out the edge and that paint flowed out into the water quite far. The look that I'm going for is the look of lights behind the bauble, and I just want that glowy look or that glowy feel. Then I'm going to take some very bright pink, and this is Opera Rose. I love this colour. And I'm just using the tip of my brush to add some little baubles or some little fairy lights. And then I'm going to take a clean damp brush and I'm going to blend the bottom of this leaf out. So what I'm looking for is some bleeds. I want that colour to bleed down and blend out so we get that really washy sort of interesting glowy look. I wanted it to look like there was fuzzy lights or something in the background. Do you know that sort of bokeh effect where you get that lovely soft glowy light coming from behind something that's in focus, and that was kind of the look I was going for. I'm also going to add some diluted sap green to the corner, and then using a clean brush I'm going to blend out the edges, just bringing some of that colour down. It is really washy, but that was the look I wanted. And then I'm also going to just touch the bottom of that leaf and then lift up my board and allow some of that colour to drip down. I'm also adding some water droplets just to encourage that paint to drip down the paper. And you definitely don't have to do this if this isn't your preference, but I just was playing around and experimenting and I actually love the end result. So I want to add some dark marks now, and it just gives that look of highlights and reflections in the bauble. And all I'm doing is just painting these sort of U shapes or long U shapes, and this is indigo. And again, I'm following the curve of the bauble to make it look really rounded. I'm also going to add a few small ones in the middle with my opera rose and my indigo as well. And then I'm just going to use a clean damp brush and just blend some of the edges out that were a little bit too harsh. I've got some yellow ochre on my brush now and I'm going to paint 3 little lines. I'm also going to add a line at the top, and this is going to be that sort of, what is it, that string holder at the top. And then I'm going to use a little bit of indigo and I'm just going to add a little shadow. Then I've got some white on my brush and I'm just going to use the tip of my brush to add a string. And then I'm going to add a little highlight at the top of the bauble as well, and also at the bottom. Painting these in a U shape as well. And then I'm going to blend that out. If it's a little bit too harsh, you can use a clean damp brush to blend out the edges. Now I've got some beautiful metallic paint, and I got this from an Etsy seller. I'll see if I can link it down below for you because I love these paints. And all I'm going to do is just paint that over the bauble in a few little areas. I've also got some pink as well. This is a really beautiful hot pink colour. I'm adding that to the bauble. Look at that shine, isn't it beautiful? These are like pearlescent metallic colours. I'm also adding a little smidge to these lights as well. Thanks so much for watching today. Please give me a like, it helps me to grow. I'm a small creator, a mum to 4 children and a dog, and I love making these videos for you, but it is really hard work, so that one little like honestly makes my day. Have a lovely rest of your day, happy painting, have a beautiful Christmas, and I'll see you soon. Bye.